So, welcome to the show. Make sure I'm looking at the right camera. Welcome to the show. It's, your usual guest, but I feel really bad about this because the show has been on here since 2017, but this is this is the first time we've had a woman or two women on the show.
That's a milestone.
You're right.
Damn.
Snaps around. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Zaria, host of The Cultural Vibe, or one half of The Cultural Vibe. Culture2Culture.
Right.
I'm Skylar. I'm the co-host of Culture2Culture as well. And thank you guys for having us. We're excited to be here.
We're really happy to have you, but could you also explain to us what is Culture2Culture?
He's like, can you give us some context?
I've listened, but I don't know if everyone is watching.
For sure. You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Culture2Culture is a music podcast about connecting everything that's going on in the music industry to what's happening in the world and what's happening in the social sphere. We have a lot of artists on. Most recently, we've had a lot of female rappers and female musicians, underground and local Detroit artists as well. And just hearing them share their perspectives and, kind of cultivating, some thought around what's happening. So,
yeah. It's actually a spinoff.
It's a spinoff?
Yeah, the radio show, The Cultural Vibe. That's why I made a mistake and said that at first. So yeah, we used to do a lot of hip hop interviews and in studio performances, and then we decided to turn it into a podcast.
Wait, so did you create the Culture Vibe?
No, it wasn't created by me. It actually was on campus at Impact 89 FM since 2005.
Okay.
And I was the host for about 3 years.
We brought it back to life, though.
Oh, so you were... Oh, wait, were you both hosting?
I came on after I visited the station once.
Yeah, she was there for about a year.
And yeah, so last year I was there, and we kind of just made it more we built the social up and redid some of the programming. So while we were there, I think we did our thing. You know what I mean?
Rebranded.
It was cool.
I like the show too. Yeah, represent.
Thank you.
But that's really hype that you guys brought that back, made it alive, or brought it back to life. I'm really jealous because they've had actual rappers and things like that on this show.
Yeah, we just had our friends.
Right, we haven't gotten to that level yet, but we're working on it. So we'll catch up in due time. But yeah, I want to say thank you for coming on the show because a lot of people have complained that this is a very male-centric show sometimes, and we're not misogynist or anything, but it would be good to have a perspective for the other 50% of the world.
Yeah, it's very Venus to Mars because ours is all female.
And and we have a lot of like Daria just said, we have a lot of women, a lot of female perspectives, and it's nice just to get some male energy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We
can debate and get into it.
Well, that's the thing. Are we really going to debate? Because I feel like we agree on some, but I feel like we agree on
I'm gonna stir the pot a little bit.
So you already came in here knowing you wanted to.
Zaria's devil's advocate.
Okay.
No, I'm never an advocate of the devil. I just want to stir the pot a little bit.
Okay, that's fair. Is there anything you wanted to start off with then? Did you? Because you have notes.
I do have notes, but I'm following your lead, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, really, the last time we did the show, we had Gabe on, my cousin.
Yeah.
And it was all hip hop, and Big Sean's album came out.
Yes.
So most of the show, it was focused on that. But I really wanted to talk about Hit Different and Inhale. Mm-hmm. The one by SZA and Bryson Tiller, obviously. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm big fans. I don't know if Max likes R&B as much.
Not as much.
Okay, nice. Perspective.
He's heard Control.
Good.
Yeah.
And he's heard
I like that
big Bryson Tiller songs, so he knows what's up. But I don't want to give my opinion first because I don't want to sway anyone's. But I heard the songs. Mine okay, yes,
first.
Please.
Hit Different. Okay, so when it first came out, I was like, yes. SZA, because to me, Control is a masterpiece. I feel like I'm going to be listening to that when I'm 40.
I agree.
So I was very impressed with Hit Different. The visuals hit different, no pun intended shit. But if I'm being honest, it hasn't aged well for me. We're a week in, and I'm over it. You know what I mean?
Really?
And Bryson Tiller and Hill could have kept it for me personally, but people like it, so I don't know.
Okay. So you think Control is a masterpiece?
A masterpiece.
But you didn't no skips. I agree, but you didn't Hit Different.
I liked it, but I don't feel like it's aging well. I feel like Control, it never got old for me. I can listen to Broken Clocks, I can listen to Supermodel, I can listen to Go Gina over and over and over again.
Yes.
Hit Different, I was over it after the first week. I feel like the longevity isn't there. However, though, if this is going to be the rollout for an album, and that means that Hit Different is technically the equivalent to a Love Galore, because it has that feature the same way Travis did, and she has that feature with Ty Dolla $ign, then what's to come is better. Because to me, Love Galore is not the best song on Control.
I would agree. Zaria?
I have a question for Skylar. Is there something about it sonically that makes it kind of get old really quickly? Because I feel like when a song, I like it a lot at first and then it gets old really quickly. It's because something about the song gets annoying. Like something I wasn't vibing with the first time. I love Hit Different. Like I've been listening to it every day on repeat and I still listen to it. But I think it definitely can stack up to Control.
Okay. I don't think it's quite Control level, personally. But I get it. It's a decent song. I think she played it safe. Yeah. I think it was kind of boring. And this is what me and Max were saying about Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign is a feature you get when you don't want to release your own song. Because any song he's on is not going to be bad.
Yeah.
He'll carry anything. So I feel like for who she is now, she's established. Her name alone will sell. She could have just released a song by herself. Something more experimental. So what do you think she was trying to do here? My theory is she's trying to go into like Rihanna territory in terms of stardom. And so she put out the most radio hit possible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was definitely just trying to get plays.
I'll say this. I know she had some label drama.
You believe that?
Yeah.
100%.
Probably.
I think so.
I mean, the thing with Top Dog is they seem to be a little bit behind the curve. I know Punch was like, supposedly he was keeping that album in the vaults for a long time. And she's wanted to release it for a while. And there's been Twitter drama. You know, they were going back and forth on Twitter about it. SZA and the president of TDE, I should say. So maybe this is his doing a little bit.
I'll be a skeptic, you know. I'll be the first one to admit that I am a skeptic. But I listen to a lot of other music podcasts and I listen to a lot of people in the music industry. And this album rollout tactic has been tried before. The whole label issue, they don't want me to drop thing.
That's true.
That's why I'm a little skeptical of it.
And no one else on TDE has any kind of trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think to your point with TDE's rollout plan and them trying to do one artist at a time and like be very focused, I feel like it's a little outdated just because shit just moves so fast. The music industry just moves so fast. But you're right, that is a tactic. Like, and I feel like that's what Megan did when she dropped her project.
Interesting.
Earlier this year.
Yeah.
Because it was very timely. Like when she did the Instagram live, when she did the Breakfast Club interview, when she did everything, like it was like very in a sequence. Yeah. So to me, that's planned. And maybe you're right. Like it is something to generate buzz and to get people talking. And people know Punch is like problematic, you know what I mean? He's not just problematic with SZA. He's been problematic with his other artists like Absol and Sir.
That's right. I forgot about that.
They weren't, releasing music. So I don't know. I agree with that.
So, do you think that she was held back on the because we're still talking about Hit Different? Do you think that because of the label issues, that's the problem with the song, or do you think she's trying to be mainstream? Like what?
I definitely think she was just looking for something to put out.
Okay, yeah.
Because it'd been a while since Control had come out. And yeah, it has the longevity. Yeah, it can hold up. But I could tell she really just wanted to put something out. And to me, I take it like as a package deal where it's not just the song. Yeah, when I first heard the song, I was like, all right, this is very safe. This is very J. Cole because J. Cole to me plays it very safe. This is just something that's cute that'll play on the radio just to get a stir buzz, the introductory piece. But then the video came out and I was like, this is very artistic. And I can see her stepping into more, I don't know, Solange, more deep, rich, meaningful, creative processes.
Grown woman music.
Yeah, grown woman music. Very alternative. Yeah. So I thought this was kind of like an introductory piece where people could still like it, but it's not too scary.
Right, it's not off-putting. Do you guys think she has another Control in her? Like, do you even think it's possible?
No, this is my theory. I thought SZA was going to miss Education of Lauryn Hill us and be done. Like, I thought she was going to stop making music, truly. And I think, I love Control. I honestly think it lives up to that status and that bar. I don't think anything she puts out, people are obviously going to be comparing it to Control, and if Hit Different, if this is the trajectory, I don't think it's going to be the same. It feels this is the difference. Control didn't sound like anything that came out in 2017. Like, it set the trend.
Yes.
And Hit Different sounds like everything else that's out.
Yes.
Exactly. Content-wise and sonically.
Yeah.
So, do you think her life is just too good now? She doesn't have any of the pain that she had on Control? Come on, what's going on?
Control 2 is also years of experience, and I think now we live in a space in the music industry where if you're not putting out anything in 2 years, you're gone, you're washed, you're gutter, whatever.
This is the Nas argument that we always bring up because people point to Illmatic. But that was 19 years of his life in the making for the first album. So Control was however old she was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
27 years.
20. She was 20. She's 27.
She's like 30.
Yeah, she's growing.
What? Wait. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And that was really like her stepping on her new sound and everything like that. There was a lot of prep behind.
Oh,
Control.
so she really cares.
Yeah, she was into that album.
She dropped mixtapes before, but like.
Yeah, she had
one
Z.
Yeah,
Z,
I thought that was pretty good. It wasn't as good as Control, but
No.
Right. No, but I thought she was like 24 because it's so relatable to people who are that age. Wow. I mean, that's cool. That's props to her. But I thought she must have been in the industry for a long time.
I think she wrote a lot for people. Like she wrote for Beyonce, she wrote for Rihanna.
Oh, okay.
So I think while she was trying to establish her sound, that's what she was doing, which a lot of people do. I mean, maybe not for Beyonce and Rihanna, but try to find their footing.
do you think she's still in that process of like trying to find her sound? Because Hit Different still felt very different from what her sound was. I thought she established during the Control era.
It's SZA, but I think she's trying to be current. Like everyone tries to be current. You know what I mean? Like I feel like every artist, and I think this is the downfall of like every artist almost like straying too far away from what you originally put out because that's what made people love you.
Yeah.
Like don't stray too far.
But then people will say they're one-trick ponies.
You have to reinvent. You know what I mean? You can't just regurgitate. You have to refresh.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between having like a sound and a gimmick and putting out the same thing. Like Chris Brown has been the one to put out the same thing over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no versatility.
Oh yeah. I agree.
He knows the formula of exactly what his fans want. And they'll tell you like, this is it. This is the best thing I've ever heard.
They'll tell you he's like the reincarnation of Michael Jackson.
And it's crazy because it's like there's none of that transcending into a new sound, into any creativity. It's always the same thing.
Same thing every time.
And I don't think SZA's doing that.
No. I mean, I'm not going to put SZA in the Chris Brown category yet. That's my girl. I'm not going to do that yet. Like you said, Control, masterpiece. But I am disappointed. But I can't blame her if she wants to go a Beyonce Rihanna route in terms of stardom. I don't know if it's possible, but when you think about it, Beyonce and Rihanna kind of had that like lull where they went too pop. Both of them had it.
True.
And then when they became the biggest is when they had the best albums of their career, which is self-titled and Anti, in my opinion.
I think you have to ease into that, and I think that's what SZA's trying to do right now.
I think she gave me a look when I said self-titled was the best.
Oh yeah, I disagree with that. That's a whole nother.
Okay, wait.
Beyonce B-Days.
B-Days. She
shut it down. But that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about in terms of comparing SZA to Beyonce and Rihanna.
Yes.
SZA's missing something in that formula. Like to me, I feel like Rihanna and Beyonce, and people can talk about like the vocality of them and whatever, but like performance-wise,
they put on a show.
She's not an entertainer yet. She's not an entertainer.
Like SZA's flailing on stage.
I think there's kind of a comparing Beyonce Rihanna to SZA would be like it's almost they kind of separate themselves a little bit. They give themselves an air of almost like exclusivity. I don't want to say godliness, but like
hierarchy, like
untouchable.
Well, I only say that because there's no one else I can think of that could ever like come close to that again.
Well, what I mean is, I think SZA engage. I don't know fully as much probably as you guys do, but I feel like she still has that, like not relatability necessarily, but underground, connection to the fans of the music. That
yes. So let me rephrase.
Yeah,
she'll never be them, personality wise, performance wise. But I'm saying, just sell that much. That's what I'm talking about. Like she wants to sell as much as them because there's a vacuum right now. Because I mean, Beyonce is gonna be Beyonce. She'll always sell, but Rihanna hasn't released the album, so there's room for number one female vocalist. That's not like Ariana Grande. You know,
that's true.
There's room for like.
Is she a vocalist?
Technically. I mean, regardless of how skilled she is naturally, I think she has the potential.
She has a skill. I think she does. I think she's flipped it and switched it to fit the trends.
Dude, yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
SZA can sing, and she's proved to us that she can. She's kind of stepped out of like technical skill into just what is popping, and that's why people are like, SZA can't sing. But SZA can sing. She's just not doing it.
I don't think she can sing, but this is my argument. I think what sets her apart is her vocal arrangement is very unique. And I think that tricks people into thinking that she has that talent. But I think if we want to talk like vocal acrobatics, SZA's not part of that.
Oh yeah, she's very inventive with like her vocal sound.
Yeah.
I think she's very not standard, but she's unique in that way.
She does what she can with her range. Like I mean that in a nice way. Like she uses her range to its potential. Right? Is it? It's not. It's not like others in her bracket.
That was funny.
I mean, she does what she can. I mean, look. I mean, regardless of if she's talented or not, I think that she thinks she has the potential to sell like Rihanna, maybe. And I think that's what this single was aiming to do.
Yeah, she's similar to her Rihanna. Like Rihanna came out with that Party Next Door collab that was like equally horrible. Like it was worse than Hit Different. I was like,
Believe Me, Believe It.
Believe It.
Have you heard that, Max? You didn't hear it?
No.
It's
you're not missing out.
It grew on me. But it wasn't like when I first listened to it, I was like, this sounds like summer 2016 refurbished.
Well,
people say the same thing about Rihanna's vocals too.
Well, I mean, Party Next Door is responsible for summer 2016.
Yeah.
Like he wrote Drake's 20 like One Dance, I'm sure. Like, so I mean, can Party Next, that's just his lane. I don't think
it is.
Yeah. I don't think he can do anything else.
Party is like, I don't even know how to describe it, or like something pulls me to it, but it's not like he's so great or anything. But I really, and I also think like, I don't know if you guys know like his collabs with Summer, like that shit. Creme de la creme.
That is
creme de la creme.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I played that song for this guy, and like, you know, it's different because like, you know, two guys. It's not that song's not.
That's not the vibe.
but like, I just played it for him to show him how great that song is. What is it called? Just Might.
Just Might and My Affection. They have on her new project.
Yes.
They need to do an album together.
They do.
Fit. They're both so toxic and like Dark Knight vibes. Like that's the energy. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I agree. Thank you for recognizing Just Might, because like I try to like tell people that's my favorite song off Over It. But I feel like no one. It's a hot take, but I don't feel like anyone appreciates it the way I appreciate it. So I'm just glad that you recognize.
You and me, Xavier. I think we both like Party the same way because he was on the OVO blog years ago.
Well, Party Next Door 1's a classic.
Yeah. We've like in high school, I think that was like, we liked him a lot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I still give him a chance. I'll listen to all his stuff because you heard Colors 2, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Oh, 2?
Colors 2.
I thought you meant Colors, 2. Like I also heard the first one.
The sequel to Colors.
Yeah, no.
Peace of Mind?
No, probably not. But
okay, well, that's a decent song.
I mean, I have an affinity, I guess. Like if I know his name's involved, I'll probably like check it out.
But anyway, we got off track. We were talking about Believe It.
Oh yeah.
But that Party Next Door's peak was summer 2016, so I think he's just trying to ride it out. Yeah. The same way SZA wanted a radio hit, like you said, he was just trying to get a radio hit. But I think we can come to a conclusion on the SZA single, which is that she can do better. It's not bad, but she can do better.
And I think
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I think we're gonna get better.
Yeah,
like,
I
agree.
Think
this is the
introduction.
opening
because there is a snippet at the end of the song that was way better. Than
yeah,
the song.
exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
heard it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't know what she's up to, what she's teasing, but I don't know. I trust her.
It's kind of like that thing Kendrick does, where he'll just give you a little bit and then give you the rest of it.
Speaking of which, you heard the leaks, Kendrick Lamar leaks.
I heard there were leaks.
Yeah,
I haven't heard them yet. I haven't found them.
Well, first of all, do you guys know who Baby Keem is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was his cousin.
I love Baby. Really?
Cousin?
That's Kendrick Lamar's cousin.
That explains a lot.
That explains everything.
There you go.
I don't see any similarities though.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I know they're for sure related. I don't know how though. But that explains how he got put on so easily.
Makes sense.
I love Baby Keem.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you like what was it? Die for My Bitch? That album?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. But I like him too. But I just always get kind of disappointed when I find out a rapper's connects.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, well.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere for
you
sure.
You look like you had something you want to say.
No, because so Saweetie, like Gabrielle Union is her cousin. And
Who?
Gabrielle Union.
Saweetie. Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Weird. I think I said Saweetie. But she was like, yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I wanted people to thought like that I came on by myself and then I grinded by myself, which I think is kind of weird because
it's disingenuous.
Like, it is disingenuous, and like also, why not own that? Like, do people hate Gabrielle Union? Like,
and she's not just cousin with Gabrielle Union. She has a couple like
of famous cousins. And she's
like,
I feel like this got it out the mud mentality needs to end. But also to like people are attracted to it. So I don't know.
I think it's relatable. People don't want to think that like the artist they like is so unrelatable that it's impossible to even like, you know, listen to their music and feel something. So I feel like that's why they lie about the whole got out the mud thing.
Well, we got people like that. Like we just talked about Rihanna and Beyonce, how they're like untouchable.
Yeah,
and to a degree that makes them unrelatable.
Yeah, but like we know their narrative arc. Like we like songs or Island song. What was Rihanna's first album? Songs from the Sun, Songs from the Island. Anyway, we have that.
Find a replay. That's all I know.
we have Beyonce. We saw Beyonce's come up with her mom in Destiny's Child and everything. So I think it's different when you see someone become so unrelatable, like Drake. It's different when you see them go to that transition
from the beginning,
out the gate.
Then come out the gate.
Well, I think part of it's like if you see someone go from nothing to the top, they've proven themselves talented enough to do so.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you see someone skip that huge step, it's like, how do I word it? It's like they're cheating a bit.
Yeah,
just
skipping
a step.
How we feel, and it's like, oh well, I don't have those types of connects.
Because you think about it like this too. If it's like a lever system, if you're this talented, you can start from here and get up here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But maybe if you start higher, you don't need to be as talented in this end.
Right.
Maybe that's what people think. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we like it when we see people that make us feel like we can achieve stuff.
Exactly. That's the relatability part of it too. It kind of inspires you in a bit. So I think for a lot of people, it's no one wants to feel like singing and acting is like a monarchy.
Or that it's not achievable.
That's not achievable, right? Because there are people that look at these people and they want that too, and that's not wrong. But I get why people be upset. But anyway, there were Kendrick Lamar leaks, but they're pretty decent. Did you hear him, Max?
Maybe.
You didn't hear
I didn't take it personally. I didn't process it that much.
I forgot how we even got to this topic about the Kendrick Lamar leaks.
Baby King.
Before
that.
I know, right? Oh, Saweetie.
Yeah.
Yes. The Gabrielle Union Connect, right?
Yeah.
I think we got off track, but
I know we got off track. I'm sorry.
But I mean, Kendrick, I'm excited for him to put something out new. I think we waited long enough. I mean, about to be 2021, so he's about due.
All of TDE is pissing me off, except Sir.
They're the type of artists that put a lot of work into their albums, though. They build the suspense.
We've been waiting for Isaiah Rashad.
Yeah. I love Isaiah Rashad.
Thank you so much.
And I like the wait, because when it comes out, it's like, okay, I needed this.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it worth it, but it also makes me sad because then I know I have to wait another 5 or 4 years.
Yes, exactly.
For the next thing.
God, it's like when you hang up on the phone with somebody you like, and you're like, dang, now I gotta wait to talk to him.
Right, it's gonna be a few weeks, a few months, but anyway, I don't know how we got to this, but let's just get to the next thing. The Bryson Tiller song, Inhale. You already came out the gate. You came into the crib saying, fuck that nigga Bryson Tiller. I hate everything except trap soul. So please, go on.
Don't put me out like that. But this is the thing.
Just kidding.
It just doesn't do it for me.
That song was booty.
Low-key gutter.
It was.
Gutter.
It was so lazy.
Thank you. And I'm really just... For me, he's boring compared to I'm a Brent Faiyaz girl. Okay, I'm
toxic.
That's my toxic.
Go ahead.
Okay, we'll get back to that. But I just feel like he's not doing anything new. I feel like it's what we've heard before. I feel like nothing that he's done has equated to trap soul. I'm not saying it's terrible. That may be your bag. You're into it. But I'm into trap soul, and I feel like also too trap soul is so raw. Nothing he's put out has been that raw, that authentic, that real. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, I will say I think Something Tells Me was pretty real. I like that song. When he had the line about you found the magnums in my bag, how do I explain that? That was a real ass line.
He's a great lyricist.
Before we started dating.
He's a good lyricist, but sonically, I was like, this is so lazy, and that's part of why we like Bryson Tiller's Trap Soul, is because it sounded so different.
Well, he was fresh off UPS back then,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he re-innovated what was going on.
There was a hunger there that I think he forgot about. He did the thing where he let it simmer too long, and now we're really expecting something that's spectacular. And I listened to it and I was like, this is boring.
It's boring, and he didn't have any quotables. You know Bryson Tiller, when he came out, Instagram was filled. Yeah. With left hand on steering wheel or something.
Not even just Instagram,
Nike
midday on the
hats.
elevator.
What's up?
Nike dad hats. He made dad hats probably in general. Cool.
He's the originator of being a hatfish.
Looking better with a hat on?
I think he still looks good without a hat.
No, he does look good, but I feel now guys were I can wear that Nike hat and just look fucking whatever, because no one's ever gonna ask me to take it off.
Wow. Let him live.
I like Bryson Tiller. Also, I feel he had a baby, got boring.
And his fiance.
Why are they twins? They look alike to me.
You think so?
They look really similar.
Don't say that, because I like her, and I don't want her to
That's crazy.
have me thinking that she looks like Bryson Tiller.
They're both attractive people, but they just look like fucking cousins to me.
They're both that same skin tone. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I think Neo was the original hatfish, but
can we talk about how no one really gives Neo his due?
I was thinking of this you know the thing I'm talking about.
His mugshot?
No, the Instagram. There's an Instagram story where it's Neo's on the red carpet and it's like a poll that some media company did. And
they said, yes.
Is Neo looking good tonight? And 74% of people said no.
I know, but you're right.
That's all I can think of.
People give Neo a hard time, and when you brought up B-Day, I was just remembering that he actually wrote Irreplaceable.
Yeah, like Neo
Yes.
Neo has bops, and I feel like no one gives him his just due one because he doesn't really have like that it factor.
He's not consistent with his releases either.
Yeah.
No, he's not consistent, and I think he had like his like what I associate Neo with is a very like particular sound and time, like B-Day, like very like late mid 2000s,
2006
like
and up.
Yeah, like that.
Because like
sound.
what else has he come out with since then?
Pitbull collabs. You remember those? Every bar mitzvah.
Every
bar mitzvah. They would play that.
I remember that one.
I Want Everything Tonight. Yeah, one of his worst. But.
And that's not his audience. That's not his audience. Cater to your audience. Your audience.
Right.
He got that one where it's like So Sick of Love Songs.
Yeah, that's
that
old
album,
though. Is
it old?
Well, it's old. That's very old.
Is it old?
Yeah.
How old? Okay, I'm just playing.
That was before Year of the Gentleman, right? And Year of the Gentleman was what Miss Independent was on.
2010.
I love that one.
Miss Independent like feels like that part in the movie where like it's over.
Wait, what?
I thought that was the vibe. You know, it was like a resolve.
No, like exactly, like when like everything's good again.
Oh, right, it makes you feel good. Yeah, puts you in a good mood. Like everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
no,
R&B's not really like that anymore.
R&B's dark as hell, isn't it?
R&B
it's very like it's trap now. They're the same.
But you can thank your man Bryson for that.
Did he start that though?
He did. I think he did.
Him and
Party. Also,
I never really considered Party R&B though.
What?
I think
he makes radio pop.
Party is very toxic.
P&D1 was... Wait, sorry to interrupt you, but she said you think Party makes radio pop? Mm-hmm. Do you think Party makes radio pop?
I've never heard Party on the radio. Besides, like, the stuff he's written for Drake and stuff.
No, that one was
That's
Drake.
Fair. I don't listen to radio.
A few years ago. God damn, what's it called? I don't know. I'm blanking.
What album was it on? Okay,
shit.
You think of that, but I'll say this. P&D1 was like R&B, right? Welcome to the Party, Wild Bitches, Break from Toronto.
Let's define R&B.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, sure. To me, R&B, I mean, I don't think this is right, but it's pretty much any black person that's not rapping.
You have a very broad...
That is what it's turned into, because soul music doesn't exist anymore.
I disagree.
Neo-soul, I mean, soul exists, but like...
Ari Lennox exists.
Ari Lennox is soul.
I think soul falls under R&B, though. I always thought R&B
was
like an umbrella.
Is, for me, this is how I envision it. It's like gospel, soul, R&B. Like that's the funnel for me.
Okay.
I get that.
I guess I don't consider Ari soul because I think she's an R&B Erykah Badu. That's how I've always envisioned her, because she doesn't give me any. Ari's very talented, but she just doesn't give me any like genuine. Like I feel like she overdoes it when she sings without being genuine, but she's still talented. Whereas Erykah gave me the genuine thing, because they sound similar. So I hate to compare them.
That's like her blueprint. And
yes.
Like when you say like she sounds, that's like a really interesting observation, because I always notice like in her songs, her vocal arrangement is like weird to me and like off.
It is
like, off. Like it's different.
Right.
So.
But like she could be soul. I wouldn't argue with you.
I don't think she's soul, because she doesn't like emote in her music, and I think that's what the difference between soul and R&B is. It's like R&B.
So who's soul for you right now?
There's not really anybody who's soul
D'Angelo.
right now.
D'Angelo, yeah.
But he's old as hell.
Yeah, exactly. He's been around for 20 years.
This is my theory.
Maybe Anderson .Paak could be soul.
Maybe.
Closest
like
to what we have right now.
Yeah, he's like Anderson .Paak's like
soul to me is like vocals.
Right.
Really.
I feel like Brent Faiyaz is like our generation's like D'Angelo in a way. Like very similar. Like they have, I don't know.
That's a tough crown to what's the phrase? Fuck. It's a tough throne to fill. Shoes to fill. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's let's give him some credit. It's hard to compare anyone to D'Angelo. Let's get off that for a second. But I just want to say,
Bilal.
The original Bilal, you're right. But the original question is, what is R&B? And because does soul even exist? I think, like I said, I think R&B. If you ask the general public, they will tell you it's any music made by a black person that's not rap. At this point,
if you ask the Academy,
especially yes, you know how they think.
Yeah.
But we were saying that Party and Bryson are the ones responsible for that trap R&B thing now, and I just want to get your opinion on it. Do you think that the trap R&B thing is over? Do you miss the old school stuff?
I do miss the old school stuff, but it's still there. People are still producing it. I mean, you have the internet. They're very soul. Steve Lacy from the internet, of course, is like...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Internet's definitely soul influenced way more than...
Yeah, exactly.
True. They're not R&B. You're right.
Very true.
I think there's a lot of blue-eyed soul that's kind of picking up the R&B kind of reign and tugging it along more than a lot of black artists. Like Mac Ayers is very R&B soul.
I saw you listening to him somewhere.
I love Mac Ayers. He just reminds me of the old school stuff. I think trap R&B is gonna keep chugging along.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, it's very collaborative because you see her, she have like a lot of remixes with rappers, and I think the nature of R&B and trap are both very collaborative.
Yep.
Because like it's always like love and sex, so people like the male and female energy in songs.
Yes.
So
soul, I think, you know what, soul's very independent. I think it's the opposite of that.
It is.
That's very true.
That's interesting because the internet is an ensemble.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's hard because they're very cross genre. So
they do like funk. They do like sometimes they have like house.
Yeah,
stuff.
You're right. Yeah, they're all
a lot
over
of alternative. Yeah, but
a
lot of artists are like that nowadays. They like to put themselves in a lot of boxes.
Right. I mean, they can't all be the internet.
I personally like just to insert myself a little bit in the conversation because this isn't really my wheelhouse music wise, but definitely soul. Like I like a lot of it, and a lot of guys kind of had resurgences right before. A lot of them unfortunately passed away, and like what's his name? Charles Bradley. What's his name? Am I thinking the right guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a great album before he died.
Yeah, that's soul.
That's soul, and that's the kind of stuff I like, and it's very personal. Yeah, it's very focused on like the gritty voice, that kind of
Yellow Days
pained voice.
Is very very soul.
Yeah, Gil Scott Heron's one of my favorite. That's not even. I don't even know if that's soul. Spoken word soul when he does sing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Almost like poetry.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of my favorites, and I think these guys, it is kind of dying because they are, I mean, unfortunately dying, but there isn't really anyone to take over that role. I'm sorry to be morose about it.
The way you said it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Girl, Baby Rose, she's like a soul artist.
Love her.
Yeah.
Love her. Borderline?
Yeah.
Never heard.
Her voice is like on some other type of stuff. Like
it's deep.
But like deep. In a good, in like I feel like we like idolize like that higher register in like music anyway.
I don't know why, but yeah.
Tony Braxton should be more.
Yeah. Oh wait,
famous.
Who's the singer from Alabama Shakes? What's her name?
She
can sing.
I know.
But we know
Brittany Howard.
Brittany, yeah.
She can sing.
She can sing.
That's soul.
That's soul. That's what I'm saying.
I think soul has been kind of gentrified in a bit. Like
absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think soul has been kind of like I like her. I like Alabama Shakes. I'm not saying they're gentrified at all. She's black, but I'm just saying I think the genre of soul has been kind of like taken by like the hipster aesthetic.
Yeah,
a bit.
It's still very like even Alabama Shakes. Soul is usually gritty, like almost like a homeless aesthetic.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like the Black Keys and a lot of these like other like hipster like people have kind of lifted the genre. Where I think that's what's not attracting a lot of younger artists.
That's kind of true.
Yeah. So I think that's why younger artists tend to veer more towards traditional R&B.
Do you guys consider Snow Allegra soul?
Soul?
No.
If she had a soulful voice, I would, but I still like her.
I'm not understanding.
Okay, I agree.
I will say she's a vibe. Like her music is a vibe. But I feel like she gets away with literally not being able to sing, not being able to perform, not having like a brand besides being a Sade lookalike.
Okay, look, I bring her
Sade.
up because I think there's a lot of cookie cutter artists who are exactly like her that consider themselves to be soul R&B.
She describes herself as cinematic R&B, which I don't know what the.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
We're not watching anything. We're listening. What does that have to do?
Listen. I don't want to be the one guy in here defending Snow Allegra,
but
I will say I like her songs, like her voice. You can say whatever you want about it. It's
she's a vibe. She has a vibe about her. But I think also if we want to talk about old school R&B, there was just some shit you couldn't get away with. You couldn't get away with not being able to sing. You couldn't get away with not being able to dance.
Same with old school hip hop. You can get away with not being able to rap.
Exactly.
Or
and
who can't rap? Sorry, I just wanted to veer this.
I mean, right.
Who can't rap right now? Or right? Let's hear it.
There's a whole list. Come on.
Okay, give me number one. Who's the most egregious?
For me, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I personally don't understand the attraction to Lil Baby. Like, I personally don't get it.
Let him talk. Go on, please.
Continue.
No, I personally just don't get it. I have like no hatred towards him. I just don't understand it. Like, I genuinely don't get it because to me, he's not like phenomenal.
Okay.
That's like
noted.
Person that
right. I hear you.
I'm stalling because there's so many, like almost all the babies except for the baby. I feel like.
So you just like niggas that you like.
Wait, you're saying?
like yeah, he's fine, but like Kendrick Lamar's not fine, and I love him.
He's the greatest rapper like almost all time.
Exactly, but I mean, it's just a lot of these dudes are boring.
Okay, I get
like
it.
Moneybagg Yo, can he rap?
Well, I don't. Yeah. I'm not. You like him more than I do.
I had a very hot take. Please, no one kill me for this. Okay?
Yeah, I already know this take.
Try not to get this messed up because I still like both artists. I think we need to look at him and Young Dolph a little more carefully in determining who's better between them. Because Moneybagg Yo is a cornier guy, but if we really listen to their music, he might be a better rapper than Young Dolph because they have very similar voices. Anyway.
To me, like, I'm not saying Moneybagg Yo is like whack. Like, his songs are a vibe. Like, I love like You Played and like that song he has with Megan and whatever. But to me, like, when we talk about rapping, anybody, like, you could put anybody in that song and I would think it's anybody else. Like, there's no differentiating factor for me. And I feel like that's what makes rappers. Like, DaBaby, he has his own cadence, he has his own flow, and his lyrics are, like, so raunchy, so explicit that you know it's him.
Yes.
Like, not every rapper has that right now. Like, Lil Baby, like, I don't know what the fuck he be saying. So, like...
Well, you can say the same about Drake. I was
actually going to have a hot take about babyish rappers. You know, you could think about the kind of pained and grittiness of like old soul guys. There's a lot of guys in the South using autotune, sure, but like similar kind of sadness that they're portraying in their music that you could maybe argue somewhat a little bit soul-ish. Like No Cap, like, you know No Cap? A lot of those guys in like Alabama, Mississippi.
Maybe, I don't know. You might have showed me. I've not listened.
Maybe they're a little bit more not as popular as like everyone else I'm talking about, but there's definitely a lot of gospel samples in the music. Really sad lyrics. Rod Wave maybe a little bit. A lot of these guys you could maybe argue are soul adjacent.
I think of like Joey Badass when I think of like somebody who could be soul adjacent.
That's a rapper.
Yeah, he gives me like New York boom bap trying so hard but not doing anything for me.
I think that's the most you and Max will ever agree on anything.
Well,
you said what?
Because Max feels the same way about Joey Badass.
Yeah, I do. I mean, 1999 in high school was huge.
That was huge.
Amazing.
Samples are fire.
Can we actually, if we're going to get real, can we talk about how New York rap low-key fell off? Like,
all right, we talked about this
not
last
low-key,
episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's okay. But we can...
We don't have to get into it. But I just feel like they're not doing... Like, they really have just lost their hold. And we talked, like, Joey Badass. Like, I feel like he's just... Not washed, but washed.
It's just dated. Well, the sound is a little bit dated, I feel.
Yeah, I think they have those iconic exports that they feel like they don't really need to, do anything else.
Maybe.
Like they don't need to try anymore.
Yeah, but Brooklyn Drill is keeping the place in a national conversation.
Yeah, did you guys like Pop Smoke?
I thought he was having a moment.
Yeah. We love Pop Smoke.
Yeah, like this is a Pop Smoke household, just letting you know.
Yeah.
But I
love all those guys. All those guys in Brooklyn are.
It's Woo Back Wednesday every day here.
Yeah, of course.
But I just want to know, like, do you think he was... I thought he was like a sign that New York was getting a little better.
100%.
I didn't even know he was from New York. Like, he didn't have... like,
that good.
That's why I liked him. Like, his sound was just very, like... Yeah. Anywhere.
It's like Chicago-ish almost.
Or England. That's like all its producers were from London.
Yep. But I will agree with you that New York rap is falling off a bit. But I'm not going to let Zaria off the hook with the rappers that she was calling out.
It's easier for me to say rappers that I do like because there are so many rappers that I'm like so critical of.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. Let's just hear your like top 3 or 5 or whatever you want.
You actually had top 5 R&B artists too, so I'm going to say those too. But my top 5 rappers...
Oh, yeah. I want them all.
Okay, Joey's number 1.
Okay. You watch Grownish?
I don't watch Grownish. I know he was on there, but I'm not a fan of that show.
But okay, Joey Badass.
Stop. Make all the issues stop.
Yeah, there's too many. He's coming out with an oldish.
That's the first episode of this show.
We can say, we can save that, but I still want to hear your number artist.
Number 2. This is so hard because there's so many female rappers out right now that I want to list all of them. I really like Mulatto right now. I've been listening to a lot of Mulatto. I listen to Doja Cat. She's so good. She's so problematic, but she's so talented.
Okay, I'll give you that. I like her too.
Who else do I like? Of course, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Is at the top, near the top.
Okay, so then what we got, like 4?
Mm-hmm. I have to pick one more.
I mean, you don't have.
I'll give it to Gold Link. I've been a Gold Link fan since the beginning.
Oh, okay. So like, and after that, we didn't talk.
Yes. Oh, that album is iconic.
It is. Okay, so that's an interesting list. So besides that list, you're not feeling any other rap? Is that what you're telling me?
Cool.
In terms of like lyricism and actual like cadence, no.
Okay.
If anything, I'll listen to like the beat and the song itself, but rappers for skill and rapping, nah.
Damn.
Okay.
We're in Detroit right now.
Skylar?
And you still...
You want my top 5, you want my current.
Well, I just want to know how you feel about rap because I think that was such a scorching hot take. I need to let it sit for a minute. So you can say what you'd like. I like your Quavo shirt, by the way. Let me point it out.
And I'm not even really that big of a Migos fan. And can we talk about how Offset is actually really Beyonce? But that's another conversation.
Of the group?
Of the group. Offset is really
He's
Beyonce.
grown into his Beyonce.
I thought you meant like looks wise. I was like,
no, Offset is really like he's the Beyonce of the group because of Cardi B.
Okay.
But I think right now, obviously Big Sean, I think Detroit 2 is definitely not a disappointment. I was very impressed. Really like that.
That's really good.
But I don't know. I have like a weird taste. Like I love like Denzel Curry and like Ski Mask and like 42. Like I like TJX6 too. I've been listening to a lot of weird.
Wait, you like TJX6?
I love TJX6.
Oh shit, let's go! Yeah,
yes, like that workout is like my song. Like that's my song. In terms of female rappers, Mulatto, Megan, City Girls is actually funny because I was like, that's not my vibe. Like when they had Act Up, I was like, fuck that, that's not my vibe. But their new project, I like Flo Milli. That is, she's amazing.
You said 5.
You said what?
We said 5.
Well,
I'm about to add more to my list
so I wasn't
now.
gonna stop her. I was like, if you're feeling it, go.
I'm done.
I just want to say, I love all the artists you named. I'm very biased though because I love JT. Like I'm in love with JT. So City Girls.
She's so talented to me, and I know people think
she's the better rapper of the group.
But like, not even just better. Like objectively, I think she's good. I think she's amazing.
I think she could be a solo artist. I think it's about time.
The City Girls.
I agree.
That's a hot take.
I agree.
Thank you.
Damn.
What do you listen? You like?
No,
City Girls?
it'd be the City Girl.
I mean, yeah, I get the vibe. I get the aesthetic, and I get that Young Miami held it down while JT was in jail.
Oh,
but now
JT
it's time to let her go.
So much better.
She's so much better. She's the whole package.
She is. But anyway, I will let you think what you want to think about rap. I'm not gonna try to change your opinion on anything, but I just want to know why you think they can't rap. Because it's one thing to not like the music.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love rap. Like I love the beat. I'm just talking about lyricism.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, pure lyricism and like actual creativity.
Yeah.
And
what's not clicking for you? I want to know.
What's not clicking for me?
Like with these new cats, what makes you think they can't spit lyrically?
Like everybody's just talking about the same stuff.
Which is
like, can I cuss on here? I already cuss. Like bitches and like money and like. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. And you can talk about it in a way where we enjoy it. I feel like you can get creative with it. Yes. And I just haven't really been seeing that.
Okay. I think that is what they do on their singles, the ones that blow up, just to get people to listen to it. But if you really listen, like we listened to Lil Baby's album, like what was it, My Turn, Max, right? Yeah. That was pretty diverse in terms of subject matter, and he just had the woke ass Mandela song. What was it called?
I don't know. I mean, it's on the radio all the time.
Yeah, it's like it's deeper than black and white.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they're kind of versatile, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. There's really like those two ends of the spectrum like that. There's like woke lyricism and creativity. Like I don't know the people who are basically like wordsmiths. And then you have the people that just make hits for the radio, and there's not really. It doesn't feel like there's an in between.
What about where I think probably every rapper from Detroit could. I was talking about this earlier, but I think they're all just great rappers. They're all.
You got to name names.
Yeah, Detroit is a different situation for me.
Yeah, I mean any guy who's. I guess this is any guy put in the playlist. How about that?
Wait, have you guys checked out our playlist?
Crickets.
Send it.
Yeah,
it's on the. Okay,
yeah, let us know. Do our homework.
It's on the. It's on the link tree, which is in our Instagram, which is Shameless Plug Media. You should follow it. But
yeah, anyone I put on there, I think is a genuinely good rapper.
We're very Detroit centric in the music we put on, but I think to find what you're looking for, which is that lyricism that's also versatile, you have to really dig.
Detroit, I admit, we have really good lyricism here. I think the grittiness of, like, the sonic grittiness sometimes turns me off. Like, there's always a and I'm just like, sometimes I get sick of hearing the same thing.
Yeah.
Also, like, the shoot, rob, kill narrative. Like, sometimes I'm in the mood for that. Like, I need that, like, to get through my day. But, like, sometimes, like, you're like, fuck, I've been listening to, like, shoot 'em up music for, like, 4 hours now. Like, I need to chill.
Dude, you know have you ever dated somebody that only listens to that? And it's like, that's why you're so angry all the time?
That could be
like, it's good. Sometimes, like, I gotta be in the mood for that. Detroit music slaps. But, like, give me narrative. Give me...
Okay, I understand. You don't really get
something to listen to.
It's hard to get a lot of introspection, I think, sometimes.
Introspection, sure, but I mean they're telling wild stories.
But yeah, they are
they're going nuts.
Stories.
I love it.
I think that you get a lot of commonality between their music because they're living similar lives.
I think it's because they see what's popping and they want to be where that person is. So
of course,
that's what I don't like.
But I think from a lyric content standpoint, it's like a lot of like inner cities are similar across the nation.
A bit of both.
You know?
I think Detroit is different. Like, me and my friend were having a conversation. They were like, people who aren't from here who listen to like Detroit rap probably like, wow, them niggas are different.
Oh,
like, if I can't fight you, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What? Like, that's different. You know what I mean? So I feel like here it's just very like raw, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That grittiness is very pure Detroit.
And I've said it before, but they're also funny. They have a sense of humor about them all the time.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and
TJ, that's all him.
Yeah, even Rio. I mean, he's from Flint, but like Rio, we put him on the playlist before.
Rio the Young OG.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah,
funny guy. Actually, the Flint guys are all funny. You know Y&J? Have I talked about him before?
No.
The Coochie Man. Never heard about the Coochie Man?
What's his name?
His name's Y&J.
The what man?
But he calls himself the Coochie Man.
He didn't say. I thought he said Gucci. Okay.
Coochie.
I just wanted to make sure you said that right.
Coochie.
Okay. Gotcha.
Coochie Man, Coochie Land, Coochie Hunter, Coochie. These are all songs that he has.
Okay. Cut up there, Max.
They're hilarious. Yeah.
But that's what I think the point we're trying to make is that
there is a middle
rap
ground
out there. You just have to look for it.
And there's a middle ground. And there is a money bitches. Whatever.
Yeah, it's so saturated with that though. Sometimes it gets hard to like sift through that and know.
Interesting.
It is, and it's a lot to listen to when you don't want that. I think for a lot of men, we kind of like put ourselves in their shoes, and we're like, "Yeah, I'm that guy." Like it gives you confidence.
Yeah, I can't do that 24/7
when you're working out, and like when you're just going to work. Like as a man, it just gives you confidence sometimes. And I think that when you can't step into the artist's shoes, which might be harder for you guys, it can get kind of like exhausting. Maybe I'm wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But is that it? Like, is there a non-relatability?
It's not hard for me to relate because, it's not hard for me to relate. Okay. But I think it can be a little bit overwhelming, like in terms of me, because I really like listening to like 42, TJX6, and like it is like scam music, and sometimes you're like, shit, this shit is just not like good for me to be listening to, like Tuesday morning at 8:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? But I will say with female rappers, I do feel more. I don't want to say an affinity, but more of a connection, like, because it's women and sexuality and like owning and empowerment. And I connect with that more, but I wouldn't say I can't connect to male rappers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of like, who they are, what they're writing about. And, I'm a woman. So, of course, if they're talking about bitches, I'm going to feel like they're talking to me. And I'm like, okay.
I don't feel that way, though. And
I do, and I don't know why.
I don't think all women feel that way. Like, I feel like, because not all women are bitches. So
are you of the narrative that there's like a woman and bitches delineation, like separation?
Some men are bitches too.
That's
what I'm trying to say.
But that's not what they're talking about. Now that's not what they're talking about in the song though.
But not necessarily though. Like I feel like I guess that's true. Like there is definitely still misogyny that is alive and well in hip hop.
Oh yeah.
But
I
think also too, like I don't know, I just think of it like people with like a punk ass attitude, I don't know. That's me though.
I love the punk ass.
It's a mindset thing.
I think it's also like the people who can't stand the N-word. They think that like when they say the N-word in raps, they're talking about like their own kind, whereas like some people view it as just like person.
It's just person.
Yeah, like those people. It's
like, basically a pronoun.
I feel like that's the similar way you guys are looking at the B word.
Nah, I look at B word like definitely as like women.
Right. But I'm saying you kind of separate it. Right?
And that's why I'm like so gung ho about female rap, because then I'm like, oh, I'm stepping myself into her shoes.
But then like the other side of that, female rappers they're like, I'm better than this bitch, da 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 da. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like it's the same train of thought if you're thinking in that wheelhouse.
What's the difference between me saying I'm better than this bitch and a man saying I'm better than?
What's the difference?
I got all these bitches, and then I'm like, okay, now I feel like I'm the bitch he's talking about
instead of I'm the bitch talking about.
I don't think that's a difference. Like I feel like it's just as demeaning. If anything, more demeaning coming from a woman.
Really?
Because I don't want to say from a man it's expected. I don't want to say it's expected because that's like I don't want to. Yeah, it's not expected, but I feel like with women, I feel like the narrative should be more positive.
This is turning into a culture-to-culture conversation.
I think this is a great conversation to have, though. Yeah. But I think that what you're saying is, because if I'm not wrong,
if I'm hearing you correctly,
I'm hearing you correctly. You're saying that as a woman, there's like a more understanding you have of another woman's experience, so there should be more of a grace or empathy when referring to other women. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I feel like it's.
But men do the same thing.
But I think she's saying because men aren't shit. It's like you don't expect them to even.
I'm expecting them to be like bitches and hoes and da 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 da.
Right.
When a woman says it, yes, I'm expecting it in female rap because that also is a part of the nature of female rap and female hip hop. However, it's the same thing.
It's almost as if they're pandering to men a bit.
It's contributing to misogyny.
Of course they are, but they're doing it to make money, so I support that. Because they're reclaiming that.
But
I'm not explaining myself
well. You can also make money just talking about,
Can you?
Because, like, what harm does it do when women talk about, like, I don't know, I'm still this bitch man. Like, it doesn't really do anything as much as, like, when a man is like, I got all these hoes, I got all these bitches.
But what happens when a man says, I have all these hoes, I have all these bitches?
Literally, you end up with people like Future, who have a bunch of bitches, like, literally.
I see your point.
Like, women are actually doing that, really. We just talking about it.
I think...
I was just going to say, I mean, none of those women that Future's involved with were held against their will.
Yeah, but they're literally like kind of indoctrinated into this kind of misogynistic role because they know who Future is, they know what they're getting into, and they feel like they want to be a part of that lifestyle. And it's not really because they want to, but because they want to be a part of his lifestyle. How do we know that? You know what I mean?
How do we know that?
I'm sure they don't want to be like one of many bitches.
Well, I understand, but like he has 6 babies or baby mamas like before you get with him. No, like isn't that like we never met the guy.
Step myself into these women's shoes. I'm not gonna do it, but it's kind of like playing into that misogynistic idea for the thought that you might benefit from it, or you might be different. I don't know.
You think that he's luring each one on? In a way?
I don't know.
I think there has to be a degree of that.
Lure someone on. Like, how does that work?
Right. Like, I feel I get it. He's a scumbag, but I just think because it's so widely known that he's a scumbag that you kind of know.
Yeah, but he got money, clout. I mean, if you want a piece of that, you're gonna be a part of whatever he got going on.
Right.
And I think you have to take into account for not everybody cares that like he has 6 kids. Not everybody cares. Like some people are like, okay, I'm gonna trap Future. Like that's the goal here. You know what I mean?
Trap
like I'm
the
just
trapper.
Exactly. So like I think you have to think of it from that point of view too, because he's not, messing around with girls who are, I don't know.
I think
with feet bigger than his.
He did say that. That was messed up. But I think I get what you're saying. We have to be careful not to remove a woman's like autonomy in the situation.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to keep in mind that she's grown, she can do whatever she wants. So at a certain point you need to ask yourself, like, what you're getting into when you mess with Future. Like, I don't think the music or anything contributes to it. I think it's just how certain people are. Some guys are like that, whether there's going to be rap like that or not. Some guys aren't. There's always going to be Futures and Russells split on the earth. You're never going to have all Futures and
Xavier's
all
and
Russells.
Maxes.
What?
Xavier's and Maxes.
Wait, so which one's Future? Which one's Russell?
I'm the nice man.
Okay, listen.
Really
Why are you doing this to me?
Do I want to know?
I'm not like Future at all. But people think I am sometimes. But like,
what are you doing to make people think that, Xavier?
Nothing. It's the music I listen to.
I don't like the way you're laughing. It's like confirming the shit. You know what I mean?
No, let's just be clear. No baby mamas. I have no baby mamas. No. And I just want to say this too. My whole life I've been compared to Russell Wilson, right? Like aesthetically. So I worked my hardest to fight that. And so sometimes
you fight those demons.
And so sometimes I may overcompensate.
Xavier's the perfect blend of both these archetypes.
Shut up. Sometimes I play into
perfect,
it.
Man.
I don't say the B word. I don't call anyone that. I don't do this or that. But I definitely have
a Percocet addiction.
No, I'm not. I don't. I'm not addicted to any drugs at all.
Why is he trying to air out some fake dirty?
I do not know. He's taking an opportunity to kill me. I don't know why. But I'm just saying, I think I root on Future's behavior sometimes, and only because
you're trying to balance out.
I'm trying to balance out the Russell in me.
What makes you think Future doesn't do the same thing?
What do you mean?
With the women that he's courting.
What do you mean do the same thing?
Like, you don't know if he has like some sort of nice guy image that he puts on for these women that he's trying to bring in, and then he rips off the mask and he's like toxic nigga.
Well, his public persona is just so established.
Yeah, we know how Future is in the media to us. We don't personally know Future though. Those could be two different people.
I mean, I did tell you he has to be on the podcast.
Shut up.
He emailed me.
Okay, like
y'all have him on the podcast.
Should we have him on?
Some questions.
I guess I'll email back.
I do think part of it is an act. It is an act.
It is an act. It is an act.
It's profitable.
Yes.
It's what has sustained his career.
Yes, definitely.
However, though, I think you eat the fruits of your lips is what they say. Like, I feel like the shit that he's talking about is the shit that he's done, or
of course
maybe that's even manifested reversely. And I think, to your point, Zaria, about him having like a mask, like a nice guy. Of course, every guy does. Like, that's the first 3 weeks of dating somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
why are you looking at me?
You're getting the representative, not the real person. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I agree. It's definitely a front. Like, he even admitted like he wasn't drinking lean and doing drugs while he was rapping about it. Like, it's a front. We know this man can put on a heavy front that is believable.
Right. Okay. So, you know what? I will say this. There are some... Future has some accountability, and his baby mamas have some accountability.
Absolutely.
I think both are grown people, and they make decisions, right?
I think either way, he went 56 nights crazy.
That's okay. Yeah, they might not get that, but we listen to a lot of Future, is what he's saying.
Okay.
But I get why it can be hard to listen to, and I get why it can be like too misogynistic.
Sometimes. I still enjoy Future, by the way.
So then, what are we even talking about? What was this all for?
Why did I have to even go?
But also, though,
it's all coming in place. My plan,
baby. I'm sorry.
Back to accountability, though, is it really equal? Because Future has the upper hand. Like, as much as we want to say, like, oh, it's two people. Like, he has.
That's what I'm saying when I say he has clout. He has money.
Yeah, but also too, like, you have the option to say if you want to play into that. Like, it's not equal, but like, you just. I guess it's like.
You don't have to go in the Rari. You don't have to go in the whip. There's a nigga with an Acura across the street.
Okay,
and he has a podcast.
I'm saying that Acura, we hear it so much all the time that some women like, kind of even to no fault of their own, they just kind of like are brainwashed into filling that role.
I agree, it's to no fault of their own partially, but why do you think that?
Because it's something we hear since we're like, I don't know, little girls. So people just kind of expect, well, this is how a man's gonna treat me. This is how he's supposed to treat me.
Also, traditionally, women weren't allowed to work, so it's like it's generations of having to rely on a man.
Yeah,
and so that you can't break that mindset out in like 50, 70 years.
It is hard. Yeah, and Future plays into that with the women he chooses to be.
But I mean, at a certain point, it's like the women he chooses they've been around rich guys. Mm-hmm. Like Future's not he's not like taking homeless women off the streets.
Absolutely.
And flashing like, Benjis in their face.
Just because you have been around rich people doesn't mean you have a like rich mindset.
But I'm saying though, it's like they're used to the power and the like they know what's up. I don't think he's pulling a trick on them because like a lot of people have been to the rodeo before.
Yeah, he might not even be the first man that takes advantage of them. Probably not.
But that's what I'm saying. Is he taking advantage of them? Is he really? I don't know. Are they taking advantage of him?
Would you do what he do?
No.
Poor Future.
I'm just saying he has. I'm not saying poor him at all, but
I know.
I'm just saying, like, do you think every woman that has had a baby with him has genuinely said, This is the love of my life, and I want to have a child with this man.
One of his the mothers just asked for like $52,000 a month.
They're trying to trap him.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm trying to say.
He got the judge to go down to $3,000 a month.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how do we know he's the one taking advantage of them all the time?
I don't think it's taking advantage. I think, like you said, they both know what's up, and I think also too, these girls know what type of life they want to live. And they know, okay, if I don't have any talent, I can't strip forever. I can't do this forever.
If I suck.
Let me find someone. You said what?
Never mind.
Being a baby mama is actually like a career. That's like,
and some people choose that. Mm-hmm. So you got to think about that.
The 52,000. She was trying to get the bag.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Future's not taking. He's fulfilling their fantasy. Then.
I don't think every woman is like that, though.
I don't know if that's a fantasy.
But you just said some people want to be big mamas.
Yeah, some people. I don't think all of his baby mamas are like that.
I'm not defending Future, but I think that he gets a little worse rep because of his fans.
Oh, his fans suck.
His fans are the worst. But I think
not us.
I also think that if you really look into it and you really look into the relationships that he's fostered with his baby mamas, I feel like he doesn't deserve all the blame.
Is there an example you're thinking of?
Well, what Max was saying, $52,000 a month in child support is a little.
I was just pointing out a fact.
Is it when you're worth millions though? Like, it is egregious, but like.
But that's child support. That's not alimony. They were never married.
Yeah,
that's purely to take care of a child.
But she got nothing before that, right? Like
I don't
$0.
That's trifling. You're right.
He paid nothing.
That's trifling. He should have known better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's probably not the best dad. I mean,
he's not the best. But like, there's a middle ground.
You know what happened to his first son?
When you have 8 children with a ton of different mothers.
I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, wrap it up, Future.
I don't even know how
literally.
I don't even know how we got to this point.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
We were talking about rap, hip hop, or something.
Oh yeah.
Let's move on.
But yeah, I don't know if we'll ever come to a consensus on this topic, but we can just say that both parties have some responsibility. What else did I talk to you about when we were talking on the phone about the show? Didn't you say about some topics?
Yes, I know we said something about talking about whether or not R&B is dying.
Oh yeah. I personally, well, you can tell me what you think first. I don't want to take over the show.
Ooh, I have to think a little bit. I don't think I wrote notes for this one. I was gonna go off the fly. Yeah, go ahead.
No, is a short answer, and I'll tell you why. For me, I think this quarantine has actually been a really rich time for R&B. Summer dropped, Kehlani dropped, Victoria Monet dropped. So I feel like we have a lot of versatility, and those are some of my favorites. However, I think R&B is evolving, and like kind of we touched on earlier with that trap sound, that it's not, it's not about vocals, and it's not about arrangements. It's about like a tune and like having a vibe. So I think that's different. And I don't know if like the original R&B vibe will ever be like back, but I think that is dying. Like when Brandy and Monica had that verses, I was like, shit, people don't make anything like this anymore.
How does that differ from like what we get from pop and like trap though? Because those both offer like a vibe too.
Well, I think that's just virtue of black music becoming the number one. So everything in the mainstream is gonna sound like that. The same reason pop is rap now. Drake.
And that's why the lines are so blurred, and it's really hard to identify what even is R&B anymore.
True. Yeah, I think that I don't think it's dying, but I think that no one's lying anymore. Like, I think back in the day you would have people lying on tracks because we were listening to like New Edition came on in the car, and it's like you won't really hear guys saying corny, cheesy things anymore. You won't hear girls like
that's guys lying to you. They're lying.
I think they were being much more honest back then than they are right now.
That's real interesting. Yeah, and New Edition as the example.
You can. There are some men that will do that. Yes, I agree. But I think that a lot of the time, it can be pandering. That's what I meant to say. Not lying, but playing into the whole what they want to hear. And both genders do that.
Yeah.
Like, the reason you won't hear Brandy Monica music, well, Monica was kind of toxic, but the reason you don't hear, like, Brandy music anymore is because, like, no one wants to cater to niggas anymore. Rightfully so. But on the same side, you're going to have men are also going to be a little more toxic in their R&B, too.
I really think that's just a response of what's happening in trap, though, because they're so linked.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I don't think that's a response of what's happening in trap. I think that's, like, our generation.
That's just life.
Like how it's evolved, and I think like the standard. What?
The way Xavier said that's life made me think of it.
No, but I feel like now, like when you see like women becoming more empowered, like you said, like not catering to men, and you know, men really dropping the ball on a lot and just saying whatever and being toxic.
And look at him when you're saying this too.
Oh really? Yeah. You got some things we don't know about?
I don't know.
He's got some kids we don't know about. But anyway, carry on.
I don't.
I miss those. I miss when like I'm personally like I grew up on like 112 and Jagged Edge and Jodeci. Like I'm like nigga sing for me. Like that's the shit I want to hear. You know what I mean? Like
Devontae Swing as Baby Mama was chilly. He wasn't perfect. Like you know.
And I guess that's what it's really about when you say they're being more honest.
That's what I'm saying. It's not our generation. I'm not okay. I shouldn't say this.
Because if it was our generation, it would be like that in pop too. But we still get the "I love you, baby."
Right. That's what I'm saying. People are more honest now. Like I'm not gonna say my dad or anyone was there, but like people's parents went to Freaknik. Yeah. Like they were
twerking. They was throwing booty.
I'm saying people just were hiding it. They were concealing it. And now with the internet, you can be more honest about that lifestyle, and it's more widely accepted.
I think that also, again, people nowadays are just more transparent and more authentic.
Yes.
And I think back then, the social standard was to put up a facade
and
act like you're doing this and act like you're doing that and not be so forthcoming about your dirt or, you know, things that aren't so, you know, right. So
the consequences for being a hoe as a woman were much steeper back then.
Now so it's the standard.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's accepted.
The norm. It's the norm.
Is it the norm or is it just accepted?
I think it's the norm.
I think it's the standard.
It's not any of our place to say that hoeing is standard. Yeah, but I will say I've seen an increase. But I will say
we're tracking these numbers.
I will say
I think the hoe aesthetic is probably increasing more than people actually hoeing.
I think people wouldn't do things they don't want to do. I think people are doing what they want, and we should just be happy for them whether we agree with it or not, right? Because is it really our generation's problem if people have more autonomy and more freedom? Is it really a problem then?
You go.
It's not a problem until you're stepping on other people's pursuit of happiness or their situation and really being toxic and messing up other people's lives. And I think that's what like kind of is coming out of this new I'm gonna do what I want kind of culture. And about R&B, I think it is kind of turning into something.
Sorry, this man's yawning because he is so faithful and he's been dating the same woman forever. So I'm just
bring that up every episode.
Okay, but anyway, yes, new culture. You're saying,
but I think it is kind of morphing into something that's not even like about the music anymore, but it's just about the vibe. It's just about what you feel when you listen to it, not so much about like who it is, who it's from, what it sounds like. Like R&B is so nebulous now that so many things can fit into it. Like how is Ariana Grande and like Party Next Door both R&B considered nowadays? It's just
who said Ariana was R&B?
I mean, she was in the Grammy. She was in the R&B category, and people still. She has some songs that are R&B. It's really just the vibe.
Once white women date one black guy, they're thrown in that forever. Like Tina Marie.
Tina Marie was like soul though.
But I'm saying, but that's when white people like discredit them. It's like, oh, she's a black person lover.
Yeah, so I've even heard Sam Smith considered
right
R&B though. Sam Smith.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying like white people sometimes get thrown into the R&B category for reasons beyond their control.
Like Adele.
Like Adele, yeah, she's like
beyond their control.
Adele's from Jamaica.
Shut up. We're
going. She really. I was not expecting that from her. She really changed her life on that.
That was wild.
Girl, she got a little body and she was like, y'all gonna see these titties.
And these Bantu knots.
Yeah, why do
she's trying to crop a black man.
Hairs.
Oh boy.
There's who told her to do that? There's no good reason.
Who doesn't care about her.
There's no good reason to let her do that.
Where's your PR team?
I'll just because of who she is, I'm gonna let her. I can't say, because
it was
I'm
a little
not a woman, but like I can't get mad at her personally, so I'm just gonna ignore it. That's how I feel.
I don't know. I mean, I like turning tables. You know what I mean? Okay, I like set fire to the rain. You know what I mean? Like that's a vibe for me.
Chasing
like,
pavements.
Yes, that's very 7th grade 2012 me wearing some Aeropostale sweater. You know what I mean? Like that's my vibe. But I don't know if I feel Bantu knots.
Yeah, she's always been very boring to me, so I was not having it.
Okay, fair enough. I get it.
Stay
but I agree.
Stick to the status quo.
But
High School Musical was R&B.
Shut up, bro.
Corbin Blue.
Why are we talking about him? That was my husband, and I don't want to talk about it. I have PTSD. I have.
Have you seen what he looks like?
He's cracked. He's cracked.
Looks like he smoked some crack.
His hairline is all the way back there.
I was like, damn.
His mom's white, so I mean,
it's very tragic. It caught up with him like that.
I just got really nervous because last episode, with the way my hair was styled, someone compared me to.
I mean,
do you really think so? I don't think. Okay,
you just look like a more black version.
You do look like.
You just have a different face, though. You just have like.
That's what I'm saying. Our faces are nothing alike. They're not even.
You look the same, but you have a different face.
That's what I'm saying. People,
it's the same vibe.
If I saw you from like 40 feet away, I'd be like,
it's just the hair and the color. That's it.
Yeah, like you have your ears pierced. You're kind of more laid back. You felt very.
Corbin Blue was on 10, my guy. He was like.
He had the long eyelash. He was just like
whack.
He was a safe black.
Wait, you think he was whack?
He was a safe black.
Okay, so like white girls love him, but you guys think he's whack.
I don't know. I thought I was in love with Corbin Blue.
Oh, okay.
In love?
He was everything I wanted.
He was whack, and his girlfriend, who was 40, was whack.
Yeah, he was corny.
You had a 40-year-old girlfriend?
He was so corny, but I thought it was so cute.
Like the girl on High School Musical who looked old as fuck, while everyone looked 60.
She was 30, girl, Monique.
I was
Damn.
like, who is this grown ass woman?
Never put that together.
Yeah, they put the only two black people together.
No, Sharpay.
No, yeah, Sharpay and Zach.
Barely.
Zeke. Yeah. Damn, we know this shit.
That was her little plaything.
He was the pastry.
But sorry, I just got really scared when you brought up Corbin Blue because
it triggers your flighter.
We look nothing alike, dude. It's literally just the hair, bro. It's like never mind. Anyway,
I'm sure people call you out walking down the street. Oh my god, Corbin Blue.
At the gym, someone said it to me yesterday, and I was kind of upset. But how do we even get to this? We're on so many tangents. Who brought up High School Musical? Oh, you said that was real R&B. Get out of it. Shut up.
Someone was singing this. One of you was singing.
I said Status Quo.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's not my fault.
Okay. So let's just be clear. We're not answering any of my questions. We're just talking.
Well, you said it's R&B died, and I answered, and then you guys started talking about something else.
But thank you for answering. Thank you.
Conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as the conversation is natural, I'm not mad. I just want to acknowledge that we're like past an hour, but we can if you still have things you want to bring up.
What are we at right now?
We're like an hour 12 or something.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, but if you have things you want to bring up,
a lot of editing to do.
Oh, I mean, I do it all the time. It's fine. Plus, we only have 2 cameras, so yeah, it won't be a big deal. But is there anything you want on the notes that you want to bring up?
You asked a question, something about sampling old songs, flipping old songs.
Okay.
I put those things in the doc.
Oh, you did?
I'm about to say, I don't think I said that.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
I put all of that in the doc.
Don't let me take credit.
Sorry.
Yeah. But anyways, yes.
So you're talking about it?
Where were you going with that question?
I just feel like
what was going through your mind?
A lot of new artists, especially in the R&B realm, are sampling, classics because that's what people have affinity to. And are we done with that? Is it played? I feel like some people have done it flawlessly. Mm-hmm. Summer, Usher, love that shit. Like Jacquees, he can keep it every sample he does. Chadala, he can keep it every sample he does. For me, and I just feel like why can't we be a part of why people think R&B is dying is because we're not reimagining the genre, and because we keep going back to the heyday, which is 90s. So
I agree, it's very nostalgic, and it has to be done well. I think I admit I like it better when trap rap artists do it than R&B artists.
Yeah,
I think it works better when it's cross genres.
Yeah, R&B sampling other R&B songs is kind of lazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's so lazy. It's why are you biting their stuff, trying to use it to jump off? It's so lazy, and it's just boring. It's very boring. It's boring,
but it's also unimaginative because a lot of the times they're still talking about the same topics and things of the song they were sampling. It's not like a reimagining, when Kanye flipped Gold Digger, the Ray Charles
Human
sample.
Nature.
Or it's not you flip the meaning of something when you sample it. To me, that's more impressive. Or Jay Dilla does it too. Mm-hmm. When you just take a sample of a song and then basically do a cover of it.
Yeah, it's cover.
Yeah, it's just not even a new song at the point. It's just a cover.
Did you guys see that girl who just did Ashanti?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was funny to me.
What happened?
She what was the song that she did?
I couldn't tell you.
She covered it. She claimed it was an original song.
What Foolish? I think she did Foolish.
Yeah,
Foolish. She
running back to you.
Yes.
What?
She did Foolish. It was check out my new song, guys, on TikTok. You know what I mean?
Well, she released it as her own song.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
And like it's a word for word, like bar for bar.
Word for word. She got toe up.
She didn't call it a cover. Like she was like, "This is my new song."
Yeah.
Wow.
Foolish.
Wow. White. I mean, no offense. He's Jewish, so like a lot of times
she was too.
If it's
she's Jewish. Oh,
I put money on it.
Okay. Okay.
Cohn, COHN.
Let me double back. All right. Let me double. I'm not gonna say anything.
Say it. No, you're good. Say it.
As long as it's not
say what you really think.
I was just gonna say a lot of times they live in their own world, their own bubble. So it's amazing the things they think they can get away with.
Yeah, or when they discover something that other white people don't know.
Right. They think like, look, guys.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, black people was already on this.
Wow.
But Big Sean, he sampled Human Nature.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. What is that? The Don. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. Like rap, like I said, rap when they sample songs, it's more of a reinterpretation. R&B, I think the sampling needs to chill out. I agree. Is that what you were saying in the doc?
And I think, like, be original. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really do like what Summer and Usher did, and she featured Usher on the song, and, like, I don't know. I feel like it brought back that nostalgia for Usher because he is kind of, like, iconic in his own way.
Well, that's interesting, too, because there's a boy and girl dynamic.
Exactly. It was like a talk back.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just, like when Jaquise, like, does shit, or, like, even with LMA, also, where is she? But, like, when he did that, and, like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's just lazy. So.
He's so short.
He is tiny.
Jaquise is not a real artist. That man cannot sing.
He's okay.
He is all branding.
He is brand, yes. He's Birdman's new project. But, I do think that there's room for, like you said, the talkback, the reinterpreting, duets and stuff. I just think that, we need to blame the producers when it comes to a lot of the sampling more than the actual artists. I think a lot of producers are getting lazy now, especially in R&B, personally. I think that a lot of the onus should be put on them because if we really want to look into it, if we go back and dig into the R&B crates, a lot of these artists weren't writing their own things or producing their own things. Yeah.
So, there was more effort put into it.
Right. So I don't think a lot of the blame can be put on them. I also think now, too, it's easier than ever to be familiar and just sell. Like the incentive for taking a risk now is so much lower than it's ever been.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, like there's absolutely no incentive to creating something new.
No, that's why they're making a Tiger King bio series.
Right.
After they made the goddamn Tiger King 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Carol Baskin's gonna be on Dancing with the Stars.
You know she killed her husband.
She's not. There's no evidence.
She freaking Carol Baskin to freaking.
I'm kidding.
She fed that man to that tiger.
But yeah, I don't know. I do like the idea of sampling in general, though. Yeah. I think that I think what it did to hip hop was indispensable. You disagree? I saw you shake your head. So
what do you mean? What you said? What it did to hip hop was indispensable. Elaborate. What do you mean? Like
specifically, I'm talking Jay Dilla and Kanye, and even No ID. I think they contributed. And RZA, I think they've contributed the most to the modern hip hop sound, and that's number one because of sampling.
Yeah, and I think, I agree with that. There's a vibe. For me though, like within R&B, I think sampling, to me, it takes away from the original song. Like,
and this goes back to the thing we're saying now: R&B is trap.
Exactly, and even about like having your own sound.
Mainstream R&B is trap.
Yes, okay.
It's good when it's done in moderation. You have a great producer that understands you and your sound, but when you're just doing it to just release something that the people are gonna jam to, R&B is not as good as that. It's so like trap and hip hop.
Sorry,
but I like the way you said mainstream R&B. Do you have any artists you want to put us on to? Because you kind of sounded like you had some people you wanted to plug up on the show. Let's hear it.
I don't know. I feel like. No one I listen to is that underground. I like Kyle Dion. I like Jayla Darden. She's from Detroit. She has like an Aaliyah vibe to her.
I gotta check her out. I don't think I've heard of her.
She's super dope. She has like her production. It's very like Timberland-esque. Victoria Monet is not main underground at all, but I really do like her new project.
I still consider her very underground. She hasn't really made it to I think where her peak is going to
be. Sorry, could you say the Detroit singer name again? I'm writing it down.
Jayla Darden.
Thank you.
She's a song. Just look up her.
Gotcha.
Spotify.
But I do love Victoria Monet.
I like Kyle Dion.
Kyle Dion's great.
He's a vibe. Like I said, Victoria. I'm trying to think. Why am I blanking? It's this girl. She's friends with Kehlani. Her name is Jean Doe or like
Jean Doe.
She's Smino's girlfriend.
I don't know. It's like G. It's like D.
I guess I'm the only one that knows.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like French dough.
Dope.
Yeah. Is it Jean Doe? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like a play on like Jane Doe?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duh, Skylar, put two and together.
Yeah.
She's dope too. It's this girl. Her name is Donia. She's not really R&B, but she's like alternative. She has this song. It's like called "Bitch," and it's like dissing everyone. So I like it.
I'm writing all this down just so I'm listening to her. But
I feel like you're not even on the fucking notes app. Like I feel
like you're recording it. You'll get it later. Yeah. You don't even have to write it down. Really,
that's who I vibe with right now. That's mostly it. I love Kehlani, but like I need her to come with something correct.
I don't know. Her last album kind of
best album. EP.
Who?
While We Wait was her best project.
Okay.
That song with Music Soul Child is fun.
Yeah, for me, yes, I agree. This last project did not compare. You Should Be Here is still my favorite, I think. But While We Wait comes second. Sweet Sexy Savage, I liked it at the time when I was like in high school, but like kind of trash.
It is kind of the Sweet Sexy Savage.
It did not age well.
Did not
at all.
It
like
did not.
Aged like fucking milk.
Yeah, it did. I never come back to it, but I do think Kehlani is still dope though. So this is a pretty long show. We kind of got like, off track at a certain point, but like that's okay because I always prioritize the conversation. I really want to thank you for putting me on to those artists, like those new artists at the end of the show. That's always
definitely listen to Kyle Dion. I think he's phenomenal too.
Kyle Dion, got you. Is there anything else you wanted to address on the show before we take off?
Is John Ayako R&B?
I'd say so. I don't know. Sure. Maybe. I don't know. Someone else speak.
Don't say anything.
How do we feel about her?
I think she is, but I think she could fit into the alternative space, but like she's not one of my favorites.
Alternative.
So. I think to an extent, yeah, like it's not very, if we're talking production, like maybe not alternative, but it's like so basic I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's so like I don't even know.
I think she represents what's happening with R&B. Like it's becoming like so hard to identify.
She was ahead of the curve kind of too. Like she's been out since like 2009. So I do think that she's partially responsible for the change it's taken. But I would give her R&B just because I don't know about now, but she used to actually sing. No, you don't think so?
No, that's funny to me.
Agree.
Like, that's funny. Like I agree.
Yeah,
she used to actually sing. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
right.
Hilarious. A lot of people used to actually sing shit.
Yeah. So I would give her R&B, and just because she seems like she's down with like the culture and shit. So
yeah, she's very trap adjacent.
Yeah.
I just don't understand her brand. Like I don't understand how you can be like
holistic, like HOE.
Oh, that's literally what she is.
Yeah.
She's like toxic.
What's wrong? You can't have both?
I don't know.
It's
maybe
like,
you can. Maybe that's just I'm just like not.
Hoes can't be spiritual? Why are you looking at me?
It depends on, I guess like everybody has a different idea of spirituality. So.
Yes.
Sure.
But can't everyone be saved, right? Like maybe she's just trying to like rebrand, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, right.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. But I do like the spirituality thing. Kinda, I can see how it can get kind of boring though, and like overdrawn. But I do think that she's like breathed new life into a lot of her fans' lives, and she's like putting them on a healthier track almost. So I got to give her credit for that.
Triggered is healthy.
Well, at least it's honest. Everyone's been there.
This is my personal quarrel with it. Like,
yeah.
You can't do certain things. You can't say you're about this and like say you're so spiritual and then live a different life.
Yes, she's very like
live the life you talk about. You know what I mean? And that gives people a misconception of what it means to, actually operate in that sphere. And
but she reminds me a lot of like Erykah Badu in that way. That she's like kind of toxic, but also like a toxic healer.
Toxic
healer. A witch.
Yeah, basically a witch. That's what they are, witches. Put a spell on these niggas.
I mean, hey, that's their thing. That's their brand. They're running with it. I'm not into witchcraft, but like,
there you are.
No, I'm not.
You're casting spells like the other day.
Shut up, dude. Shut up. But I get it a little bit. I'm kind of like I don't want to say that spirituality, because I'm not spiritual at all, but I don't want to say spirituality is like an open book, but maybe spirituality is different for different people, you know?
Yeah.
kind of.
Everyone stare at him until he's uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're right. It's true. It's subjective. So.
Right.
To some people, it is subjective.
Right, because for some people, it's like religious. For some people, it's like more like meditative. It's like, what does it even mean for everyone?
When you take advantage of that, like, and skew it so that it's shaped into something completely different, where it's not even like spirituality anymore, I feel like that's kind of bad, and it seems like that's what she might be doing.
That could be it.
It's purely a brand thing. Like, I think the spiritualism thing is purely for her image.
Yes. Okay, yeah, you know what? I do think I agree with that. She might be taking advantage of it a bit to sell. I do see that, definitely. I just like to give everyone a chance, you know? Like, I don't, like, you know, I'm not condoning.
Trying to be the nice guy.
Yeah, I'm not condoning behavior, condemning behavior, but like, I'm not gonna count out the host. Is what I'm saying. Like, I think if they want to be spiritual, I'll let them be spiritual.
And there we have it.
All right, so thank you for tuning in to the show. This was great. I loved having them on. Thank you again.
Thank you for having us.
It was a good time.
What do I want to say? This episode might have made me look out to be a little more of a villain than usual with Max.
All part of the plan.
But it's all good because we had a good time. So, like I said, check out their podcast, Culture2Culture Pod. You guys are on iTunes and Spotify now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And follow us on Instagram at Culture2Culture.
Follow them on Instagram. You have a link tree I can link?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I'll link your link tree and my link tree. Branch.
Okay,
cool. And then what else is there? New playlist for the fall time. Check it out. It's also going to be in our link tree. And subscribe to the channel, please. Yeah. It helps so much.
And comment give us nice things as always.
Yes, comment and give us reviews if you can. But thank you for tuning in to another great show. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you to my co-host. We're going to get him a white guest very soon. I promise. He'll have a lot to say. But for the time being, just wait on it. So have a good one. Peace.